Hello. So the weather today is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's cloudy, it's overcast, there's some droplets of rain on my window, on the windshield. And the weather today is reminding me a lot of way back then when my cousin and I did a lot of filming, when we spent a lot of time together. And I wanted to talk about those days a little more, go into more depth concerning that I usually do. I have a few videos, like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 videos like this on my channel, and I apologize if, it seems like this is a topic that I keep going to, or that I go back to all the time. But I'm constantly reminded of him and our time together through how the weather looks, the certain smells I get throughout the day that I smelled way back then, like a candle or a cologne, or things that take me back in time. And particularly today, as I just mentioned, it's the weather. It's overcast. It looks a little bright, a little brighter than it actually is here. It's a little more dull, like a little more dark. And it's reminding me a lot about that. I don't know why. It also doesn't help that I was just listening to a video that him and I did on our History and Reviews channel. It's his now, since we've had our falling out. But when I was a part of that channel too, I was listening to a video driving to work, and I'm here at work right now. It was a Black Friday video, 2018. We had a Black Friday lights out saga. There's a 2017 and there's a 2018 one. If you want to find it, go to History and Reviews, and you'll see my mug on it, and you'll know I was in it. I don't know what I'm saying. But if you want to see it, go find a channel called History and Reviews. He does solo reviews now, but I used to be in that channel as well. This video is probably not going to be that long, but I just wanted to talk about my experiences back then and whatnot, and why that was so special. As with anyone's childhood, unless you've had a really rough childhood, typically the average kid doesn't go through anything too horrible or doesn't go through anything traumatic. Unfortunately, some children do, and I feel so horrible for them. But for the most part, the majority of all of us, or a good chunk of us, have had a pretty normal childhood, a pretty good childhood. So in my childhood, one thing that I did a lot was, my cousin and I, we filmed a series called Agents. And then we filmed a series called The Omega Man. So what Agents was it was basically the story of a character named Officer Spencer, who then is running this police department, and then there's this warlord named Fagin that takes over all the police departments in Indiana, and soon maybe the whole world, or in the United States, and completely corrupts the police department, all the departments, completely corrupts the police force and the politicians and all that. I don't think it was that deep in our storyline back then, because he was, when we started, at 12 and I was 6. But the basic premise was that Officer Spencer was trying to stop Fagin and his accomplices, Miss Superficial, Werewolf A. And you can find these videos on my channel. That's the good thing. So if you go on my videos tab, you scroll down, or you sort from oldest, scroll, and you'll see Agents, the TV series, Agents, the Final Four, all these sort of sub-series that we had in the main Agents series. And then we have the Omega Man. But there's a lot of sub Omega series. We had the Omega Man, we had the Omega Squad, we had the Omega Squad HD, we had the Omega Man Universe, we had the Omega Man meets the Omega Woman, we had what else? The Omega Men, which was then included. I was a character named Alpha in that. So the Omega Men was, Josh saw I Am Legend, the movie I Am Legend, in 2007 or 8. I think it was 2007. Whenever that movie came out, he saw it. He loved it. He took inspiration from it. And it's kind of I wouldn't say a carbon copy, but it's pretty much the same. The very first shot, or the intro to the very first Omega Man, or Omega series wherever we ever filmed, was him walking down the road with his dog companion named Joanna, with a toy revolver in hand. We didn't have airsoft or real firearms because we were kids, but we did the best we could. He was walking down the road with his dog Joanna, obviously reminiscent of the Omega, I Am Legend, because Will Smith, I forget his actual name in the movie, walks around with a I think it's a German Shepherd, a dog, in basically half of the movie. So we took inspiration from that, and so a lot of our series, the Agents and the Omega Men, since we were children, and even filming the Omega Men, you know, when we stopped 5 years ago, and then Agents we stopped in 2019, so 4 years ago, before our falling out. All of those series, especially when we didn't reboot them, the old series from like 2006 to 2013, all had massive inspiration, if not completely in your face copyrighted material. But it was fun. I mean, so like in Agents, I wore a Goku outfit, and it was clearly a Goku outfit, so that was copyrighted. You know, we didn't have any really original ideas. We had original characters and their original backstories, but we were just kids with a cheap camera making videos. So I had the Goku outfit. I had what else did I have in Agents? In Agents, there were some characters that, you know, clear, again, copyrighted material. I had that Goku outfit, but even when I didn't have it, my character obtained basically Dragon Ball Z powers, and I would summon spirit balls, and I would summon, and I died in one episode, and I went to King Kai at his palace. And then you go to way later in the Agents series. It was called Agents Day of the Dark Sun. I think it was made in 2014 or 2015. I have a Goku outfit on again, and I'm flying through the sky, falling after I defeat the Dark Sun, or whatever it was called. And then in the Omega Men is basically a copy of I Am Legend. But regardless, you know, we weren't making any money off of it. The series on YouTube, when we uploaded that on YouTube, or when we kept it for ourselves, which is what we largely did. I don't know if we started I think we started uploading that to YouTube in like 2008 or 9 or 10. But it was just made for fun. A lot of people see it and they're like, God, there's blatant copyrighted stuff in there. You guys aren't being original. But we were just kids having fun. That's the whole point. Now later, you can't use that excuse too much, but we were still having fun. I remember I bought a Superman suit, specifically the Superman suit worn in Batman vs. Superman. I bought that back in, I think, 2017 or 2018, early 2018, one of the two. But I was using it just for a test suit. A lot of people see that too, and they think that we were going to use that in the actual film for our age. Because we've had reboots of the series. We would reboot Agents, and then for the Omega series, we did the Omega Men, which was a reboot of like the Omega Man with me included as another main character. But I bought that Superman suit basically for test footage for Agents, the YouTube series, which we began in 2016, like early 2016. And that's on a channel called, I throw it in all the time, The Omega Agents HD. The Omega Agents, like an agent, HD. You can find the test footage and whatnot. Sorry if my AC is, you can hear it. You can find that. You can find all that on all these channels. So we have my channel, we have, and then we have the Omega Agents HD channel. I think there's a podcast talking about the Agents and the Omega series on History and Reviews, but there's not really any content concerning that on History and Reviews. So yeah, I mean, it's starting to rain again. I don't know if you can hear it. So it's nice to just think about this and reflect, because I had an amazing time with him filming all of that. I had literally the time of my life, because when you're young, you're naive. Typically, like I said earlier, you're not going through any sort of trauma. Hopefully not. I pray not. Some children are unfortunate to have to go through horrible things, but for the most part, all of our childhoods were fairly normal. Most of us didn't have depression or anxiety, and we saw the world through rose-colored, naive glasses, which is a good thing as a child. It's purely good. There's nothing bad. We were having fun, and there was something magical about just filming all of that, filming both of those series, making reboots and remakes of the series later in the years, because the time we spent together was really fun and kind of unorthodox in the sense that we just did a lot of silly crap as a kid, and we, through the editing process and filming it and watching it, it was really weird and unorthodox. Like, I remember there was a sofa to the right of Josh's like little editing place. He had like He lived when he lived with his mom at the time, back in like 2008 to like 2010, 11. He would bounce back and forth between my grandma's and his house, his mother's house. But in his mother's house, there was a computer, at a little computer desk, a wooden computer desk, and he would edit there for hours. And eventually he'd be editing so long, it'd be like 12 or 1 in the morning, and I would have to go to sleep. I would sit to the left of him and just watch him edit for hours. And then he'd get on YouTube and he'd like play a video in the background, specifically like, God, I don't know if it's, I don't know the name of it, but it's this old YouTube series of basically Darth Vader running a supermarket. Chad Vader, I think. I think that's what it's called. And he would like play videos in the background, and he would do this really weird thing where he said he was a kid and he was weird, and I was weird too. He'd pour like a little bit of salt in my hand. He'd be like, "Eat this, it'll keep you up." And I don't know why, he'd have like dry spaghetti in packages that he would munch on from time to time as he was editing. Things that are really cool to me, but probably really weird to all of us adults now. And then I'd get so tired, I'd conk out on the sofa that's 10 feet to the right of that computer, and I'd wake up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, kind of delirious, waking up from my sleep, and see him just tapping away with a little orange lighted, a little lamp sitting next to him that gave off an orange hue, made the whole room orange. My God, I don't know, just thinking about it, it brings back a lot of memories. It's really nice to reflect on. So I didn't really talk to, actually, surprisingly, I was making the video talking about the emotional aspects and how much fun I had, but I actually rambled on about the series, like what they are. But I hope you guys like this video. Again, it's another rambling series, or just another rambling video, not really a topic, not really a whole lot of editing. Really hope you guys liked it. If you did, stay tuned. If there's anything you want me to do or talk about, comment below, like, subscribe. You know the deal, I've said it a million times. See ya. What the hell?